Across the country, students are heading back to class and adjusting to new rules and routines. In Ontario, that includes bans on vaping and cell phone use. Educators hope they'll see more engagement in the classroom without the distracting devices. The CBC's Megan Fitzpatrick has the details.
New school year and some new rules province-wide in Ontario when it comes to cell phone use. Now, students in grades 6 and under, if they have phones, aren't allowed to use them for the entire school day. They must be packed away in their knapsack or their locker. And for students grades 7 and above, they're not allowed to use their phones during class time unless they have specific permission from the teacher. Now, there are some exceptions to the rules. If a student needs to use the phone for a medical purpose or for a special education need, then they will be allowed. But otherwise, those phones need to be away. Now, if a student is caught using a phone, the phone will be confiscated by the teacher and put in a designated spot for the remainder of the class or for the day. And if a student refuses to comply with the rules, they will be sent to the principal's office, and the principal will decide what disciplinary action to take. Now, already a lot of teachers enforce no cell phones in class rules, and some schools have their own rules. But what's different now is these are province-wide rules. School boards are required to have policies around cell phones and communicate those rules to students. We talked to some parents and students on their way into this school this morning. Here's what they told us.
It's good because lots of kids nowadays, they get distracted. Yeah, they are going to social media. I know it helps with their studies, but I think it's more than they get distracted easily.
You know what? I honestly feel like it's to each his own. Like it's about being able to be responsible and manage that usage and being able to adjust accordingly. So I don't think that it should be across the board, but the rule is a rule, and I think it's a fair way to have everyone kind of transition to that level.
I actually think it's a really good thing. I come from a generation where we didn't have cell phones. I know technology is good, but there's other ways that the children can get the information that they need and have a little bit less distraction from their cell phones.
Other new province-wide rules that are going into effect this school year have to do with the use of vaping products and smoking and cannabis products as well. It's already illegal to use those products on school properties according to the Smoke-Free Ontario Act. But again, the province is trying to crack down on the use of these products, and they've changed the provincial code of conduct. That's the code of conduct that governs behavior and conduct in schools. And now, again, school boards required to have policies and communicate the rules to parents. If a student is caught with a vaping product or another prohibited product, it will be confiscated and parents will automatically be notified. And we spoke to the head of the union that represents high school teachers in this province, and she says, yes, there's a lot of focus on cell phones and these other rules, but there are other challenges facing educators in this province right now. Here's some of what she said.
In my opinion, the biggest issue really is much bigger than cell phones. It's about funding and education and having the supports in place. And we're talking about cell phones, and we're ignoring overcrowded classes and hot classrooms and unqualified staff and all the real issues in education.
She also said enforcing the rules around cell phone use is almost like playing a game of whack-a-mole, and she envisions there could be some long lines outside the principal's office this school year. Now, there is a new education minister in place in Ontario this school year as well. Jill Dunlop has taken over the portfolio. The Ontario government is spending millions of dollars to support the enforcement of these new rules, including spending $30 million on vape detectors and other security measures in schools. Megan Fitzpatrick, CBC News, Toronto.